Dr. Galicia will join Maria for the closed session.
Start doing that as down for everybody who comes to the meeting. You know, we do it at school.
I have perfect attendance right now.
If we do that 25th, just because you two are here, like that's how we can do it. That was the one I had actually asked for. What time?
At the same time from either 4 to 8 or 5 to 9.
I can do 4.
5 to 9.
I'm down for the 25th at
5 to 9 on Monday. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Yeah, I'm looking for my
Because
my agenda.
we just need to get it done, you know, it's been dragging on forever.
the district.
The meeting, you'll probably have to do it again.
We have to do the district. Correct.
Okay, so where is she? Okay, and then
I
I
think
need to
Jose's
find
back
my
on the
agenda
25th, so
though.
he might be able to
Why is it
join.
not
Who
showing
knows?
up?
We have a 4, but we can't.
Yeah, we have.
Because
a
I'm gonna
quorum.
tell you after that, then I'm not gonna be.
Yeah,
So we're
right,
just debating on who's gonna
Oh
be.
yeah, no, yeah, we have a
Oh,
quorum.
there
It's
it
fine.
is. I guess I can go that way.
I
for
just
now.
want to get it off the books.
But it's not showing up under shared. Why?
That's,
So if I go, well, no, that's not good either.
yeah, these are all of our resolutions.
So you have to-
There it is. Okay. You guys ready?
Might want to just double check my picture. Maria, if you're-
Isn't this the same thing?
Just muted and-
There's 3 of us. We can do it.
It's only one resolution, right? It's a copy?
No, that's yours.
Under
Oh.
I'm reading it differently. Yeah, there's 2 resolutions.
Oh, okay.
Red Ribbon Week and
the resolutions, they all have. a
Okay, yeah,
resolution table to-
But on the,
Unless you want to
oh,
chime in and add something
but
else.
this
to
is a copy. It looks like it's a copy.
say that
No, yeah, you just read
address
one.
something.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they're
But
in
sign
that
two.
resolution, I'm gonna put, it's Principal's Week, Principal's Month. too. So I'm gonna put a little thing, congratulations. Principal. Listo? Okay, we're, as soon as you hear the started recording, then we'll start. Let me go ahead and do that right now.
I know, mine was doing the same thing. Mine's very slow.
Oh, not just to.
Oh, we
sign.
are on FYI. Hello, everybody.
I don't need to.
Can hear us. Thank you, Maria. Recording.
Stop.
I didn't hear the recording. It says it's recording. So are we ready? Oh, hello.
Okay, ready? 1, 2.
You want to start? Am I ready? Good evening, everybody. We're going to call this meeting to order at 6:04. Do I read this whole thing? Yes. So we're at the Gonzales High School Library on 501 Fifth Street in Gonzales, California. Notice of telephonic regular board meeting. Notice is hereby given that a telephonic regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Gonzales Unified School District will be held on October 12, 2021 at 6 p.m. Members of the public may participate in the board meeting by submitting comments in writing to public.comments@gonzales.k12.ca.us no later than 2 hours before the meeting starts on the day of the meeting. Comments received by this time may be read into the record by the board chair. Please include your name and agenda item that you wish to comment on in subject line of your email. If you wish to submit a public comment on more than one agenda item, please send a separate email for each item on the agenda on which you are commenting. Each speaker has a 3-minute limit to speak on items not on the agenda. If your comment is related to a matter within the jurisdiction of the Gonzales Unified School District Board of Trustees, but not related to any agenda item, please indicate it in the subject line that your comments are not related to the specific matter on the agenda. Please be aware that all written public comments, including your name, are public information. We have the Zoom information. Can I just go to roll call? We're gonna do a roll call.
Okay, trustee Lopez. Trustee Cuevas,
Present.
trustee Flores,
Present.
trustee Ayon,
Here.
trustee Daniel. And you are all, the community is given notice that trustee Cuevas is joining virtually from 719 here for Drive Gonzales, California, 93926. And our superintendent is out today.
Thank you. Welcome guests. Can I have Celeste, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can I get an approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, it's motion by Celeste, second by Cesar. Approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second Cuevas?
Okay, approval of the minutes, moved by Cesar, second by Celeste, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes. Closed topics, public employee appointment, employment, government code, section 54957.
We
Do
have
we
no,
any public comments on the closed session items?
we have no public comments on closed session item.
Okay, so we'll adjourn to closed session at 6:07. So is Yolanda not gonna be here? Are you?
Araceli, Araceli, no, once you start though, announce that there is translation services. He's at the
Okay.
bathroom, in the bathroom though.
Okay. When will it tell me? When
As
it
soon as
says-
you hear it,
Oh.
say.
All right, so we are reconvening to open session with no action taken. So we're gonna move to, I welcome everybody who's here. We're gonna move it to agenda item number 11, public comments at this time. At this time, members of the public may address the board on topics that are under the jurisdiction of the board. For public comments on item not on the agenda, the board may not discuss or take action during this meeting. Education Code 35145.5, comments from the public shall be limited to 3 minutes on any topic. The board may limit the total time for public input on any topic to 20 minutes unless it chooses to waive the item limit for a particular item. If anyone is in need of translation services, we do have our translator here with us. Nobody, going once, going twice. Okay, we're gonna move to item number 12, informational items. 12.1, to provide the board with the Williams Uniform Complaint Quarterly Report for Gonzales Unified School District for the quarter of August 1st through September 30th, 2021. We're gonna pull that up. So it looks like we're good. Zero complaints, zero, all right. Then we'll go ahead and move to item 13, communication, starting with 13.1, Gonzales Teachers Association, GTA. Anybody from GTA here? Ah. Well, hey,
Ooh, I get a-
knock on wood. Hey.
Gonna knock this out. All right. Good evening, board members. So GTA, we just found out that our MOU, our district and our negotiations team did come to an agreement for the independent studies MOU. So we are placing it up for voting starting today. It will close on Thursday. So there were just a few items that some of the members have expressed concern over. But the district's negotiating team, as well as our negotiating team, was able to come to agreement on some of those issues. And so now we are really hoping that everything closes by Thursday and we can move on to the next MOU. This week is Week of Administrators, and so GTA will be showing our appreciation to our site admins on Thursday. We will be getting each site a cake just to express our appreciation to our site admin for all of their support. And GTA has continued to have successful meetings with our HR director and our superintendent, and we hope to continue to collaborate as we go throughout the year. And that is my short, but sweet.
Yes, so it's every first Wednesday, I'm trying to look fast, first Wednesday of the month. So we had it this week, we had to cancel. So we're gonna do it for November.
Yes.
We're gonna do it. And
Yes,
So I think you guys can tell me who wants to go first.
I'm a, well, we were actually,
Yeah, it's the Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month.
Yes, so we are looking forward to those
We're gonna get there.
collaboratives as well.
We're gonna start them.
I might be available. Let me check. Yeah,
Okay, you,
Yeah.
who, eh,
I can get you back to you.
you race for them. You guys decide. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
interrupt? We did have a public
Yes.
comment, sorry.
I did remember. I'm just going to take a pause. We did have a public comment via email. So this is from Areli Mancera Calderon, general comments. Good evening, everyone. Did I do that correctly? Oh. I hope all is well with each of you. I have a question for the board and or Superintendent Irving. My question is as follows. How much has the district spent on legal fees associated with the board activities? I am asking for the total amount for all legal fees initiating this school year 2021 to 2022. I look forward to hearing from you. Respectfully, Areli Mancera Calderon. So this was also emailed to Yvette, so we'll let her respond to that. Moving forward, we go to 13.2, CSEA.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, board members. I don't really have a report, but I just like to know that tomorrow we have, let you know that tomorrow we having our meeting with CSEA, and we keep looking for members so we can get our e-board together, and it's pretty much it.
You're still working on your e-board?
Yes.
Okay.
So I hope we get some people tomorrow.
Yes, pass your finger.
Thank you. You have any questions? I'm sorry, before I.
No. Thank you so much. 13.3, student board members.
I will put her.
Do you have your mic? Holly, you can do it from right there.
Good evening. I am Holly Betancourt, this year's student board representative. As we all know, this quarter has ended, and I'm currently working on a survey to send to my fellow peers. This survey will be a reflection on the first quarter and how students are feeling after this first quarter back in person. The questions are going to be revolving around what could be improved or what resources they need to succeed this school year.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.
Next is 13.4, GYC. Do we have them on? Nobody?
Yes, I just added Autumn.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Autumn.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charlene Flores, and I'm the youth commissioner. We just wanted to give a few information about what we have been doing. Last Saturday we had our orientation with all the members that we recruited for the GYC, and we have a total about 18, 17 members around there. And we also have been doing outreach of the community center that's going to be built and getting feedback on what people in the community want to see, and as well as for the teen innovation. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving forward with 13.5, La Gloria.
Good evening, board. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I have a little list here. Don't want to forget. Things have been busy at La Gloria. And Sherlyn Flores, one of the commissioners there, I think she forgot to mention that she's also been a part of the bicycle and walk to school days, which has been really cool. We just had day 2 today, and our participation grew by a lot. We had, I want to say, over 100 members walking from Central Park to La Gloria, promoting healthy habits, less pollution in the air. And so that was really nice to see. Day 1, we did have Paw Patrol and some snack tents. And so that was encouraging as well. Let's see, what else? So we had our very first live School Spirit Day, October 1st, and the theme was Mismatched Socks Day. And it was the very first day when we kind of let all of our students know that we have a dual language program at our school. And we were just kind of telling them, look, we're teaching you how to be global citizens, and any chance that you get to learn a second language, go for it. we're learning English, yay. And we also have some classes that are learning Spanish and English at the same time as well. Being our goal is for them to be bilingual and biliterate, and any chance anyone ever gets to learn another language, do it. And so it was the first showcasing, if you will, of our Bulldog song, English and Spanish, and our Bulldog pledge in Espanol. So that was really cool. We'll be posting some videos, some little clips on that, and some pictures as well. And we had Spike, our Bulldog, make an appearance. So that was really cool, very exciting. Let's see, what else? Besides Spirit Day, we've had some meetings, some parent meetings. So we had PTA, our initial informational meeting this past week, and we're working on resurrecting that from the ground up. La Gloria having its own PTA committee. We'll be having some more sessions coming up. Our first school site council and ELAC will be October 19th for La Gloria. We'll be introducing our new membership, and we'll have our presentation on roles and expectations, among other updates. We had our first quarterly cafecito this past week, and that was very successful. Having quarterly cafecitos seemed to really work, where they received kind of quarterly updates. We had some good input, good questions and feedback from parents. Let's see what else. This past Friday, we had a district, also kind of site-based professional development day for teachers. And our site focused on Lexia training. Lexia is our reading intervention program. And also Illuminate, which is our district-wide assessment data analysis program. Let's see. Oh, this is so exciting. We're going to be starting Ballet Folklorico. October 22nd, we did have a summer session, which was amazing. And it will be led by our same parent, Adeli Mancera. And we have some more parents who are also interested in helping out, which is just going to be a blast. And finally, we did announce who the Spirit Day winner was last time. So we have to announce it this time as well. Miss Robinson's kindergarten class won the Mismatch Socks Day. And so congratulations to them. And any questions?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. I really miss my kid being at La Gloria. It's just so, because it's just so little kid friendly. Okay, we're gonna move forward to 13.6 Fairview Middle School, Mr. Malagon. That's all we have is mismatched socks.
Good evening. Buenas tardes, parents out there at home. Good evening, board members. Good evening, colleagues. Miguel Malagon, principal of Fairview Middle School, and I'm here to report on what's going on at Fairview. As Holly mentioned, the first quarter just ended. So we are definitely looking at the data that we have and the grades, and making sure that we are putting interventions in place for our students. On October 7th, we have one of our ALICE drills that we practice. It went well. We practiced the L this time, so for lock. So as we get opportunities, we want to make sure that our kids and our staff know what to do in case of an emergency. We had a great PD October 8th, where our teachers focus on iReady the first part of the morning, and then the second part of the afternoon was Illuminate. So again, it was great to have him and being able to have the professional development. We have Cafecito today. It was well attended. We have, even though it was everything, all the parents were online, but I mean, it was a success. So I think that it's important for us to continue providing both alternatives, in person and distance learn, and distance and virtually. I'm sorry. School site council will be next week on the 20th. So we're inviting everybody to show up, and either virtually or in person. I also like to thank the parents for helping us out with the CBEST. On that day, we had only 8 or 9 students absent. So we were pretty amazing by that. We did raffles during lunchtime, and kids were excited with the prizes that they were winning. So we're pretty excited about that. This week we have anti-bullying week at Fairview Middle School. So we are making sure that our students understand that bullying is not acceptable at any of our schools. So we're trying to get the message across. Next week, we will be having ASB campaigning for officers. And Friday, the 22nd, there will be the elections. So I'm pretty excited about that, to have an organized ASB at Fairview Middle School. So looking forward to that. Girls basketballs and boys soccer are having a great tournament, I mean, a great season. We have our tournament for boys, for girls volleyball on the 23rd in Soledad. And the 25th, the 7th grade boys soccer, 28th, the 8th grade boys soccer, also in Soledad. Next, the week of the 25th and the 29th, we will have parent-teacher conferences. So I encourage all the parents to reach out to the teachers and create an appointment, especially if your student is failing classes. It's important for you to reach out. And that's all I have for Fairview Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Malagon. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, moving forward, 13.7 Gonzales High School.
All right. So good evening, board members, community, everyone who's on the internet, those of you who are here in person. Miguel Ocampo, assistant principal at Gonzales High School. So we got a lot to report on. We'll start off with iReady. So we are conducting iReady assessments this week in our ELA and math departments. iReady is a tool that we're using to assess student language fluency, checking where they are for understanding in terms of access to language and how they're doing academically, so that our teachers can support students as needed based on those assessments. So ELA is starting this week. Math will be starting next week. In terms of moving on to sports, just wanted to give a shout out to our cross country, our tennis, and our volleyball teams. They are still undefeated. So
Nice.
congratulations, scholar athletes and coaches who are there day in and day out working with them. That does not go unnoticed. In terms of sports, we've got a kind of a packed week. Tuesday, we've got volleyball. We've volleyball at Pacific Collegiate, girls tennis. Wednesday, we got cross country at Toro. Thursday, we got girls tennis at Rancho San Juan. Friday, volleyball versus St. Francis. And Saturday, we've got football versus Santa Cruz. It's going to be on a Saturday night. So if you can make it, we always appreciate the support and love seeing our colleagues and students out on the field, track, and everywhere else that we participate or compete in. In terms of WASC, we had a great professional development on Friday, where we discussed our school's vision. We're working on vision and then moving into mission. So we talked about vision statement. We talked about what is a vision statement, talked about some of the characteristics of our school and our student makeup. And it was a great experience for Mr. Soriano and I to see our teachers engaging in collaborative conversations, working together. It was a wonderful all-day professional development. And this is all tied to our WASC. So just want to give a shout out to our teachers and admin who were there in support. In terms of homecoming, we just commenced, or we ended our homecoming week. Big shout out to Miss Michelle Rodriguez, our activities director, for wrapping up a homecoming week. We ended with a football game versus North Salinas High School. Had a homecoming parade with floats out on the field during halftime. That was great. Also want to give a shout out to our teacher advisors, Miss Clarissa Sicairos, Miss Valerie Lesser, for also participating. And so also to Ms. Saratelli, Mr. Cuevas for being out in the field with Sports Med, and all of our teachers. If I missed anyone who goes out day in and day out to help with our football games on Fridays, those just a big thank you. And so I also wanted to thank La Gloria and Fairview staff for attending our football game, which was our homecoming, just for being there and supporting. It means a lot. Ended with the homecoming dance on a Saturday. That went well. So just overall was a great week for our students. Okay, moving on to parent informational nights. We do have a couple one in October. Our freshman 9th and 10th grade, sorry, I'm reading this backwards. Our 9th and 10th grade students will have their parent informational night on October 21st from 6 to 8 p.m. They'll be meeting with counselors, kind of talking about the school year, academics, A through G, making sure that our students have what they need and our parents, have an opportunity to engage in a conversation with our staff and, counselors and admin. Our 11th and 12th graders will have their parent informational night on November 30th or 3rd, between 6 and 8 p.m. Okay. And again, they'll be having an opportunity to meet with their counselors and admin, discuss academics, A through G, and so forth. Finally, Mr. Soriano and I are ecstatic to say that we made a recommendation for hire for a campus supervisor. So hopefully that will be processed fairly soon, and we'll have 2 campus supervisors on campus helping with student safety. So that's what I have in my report. Any questions?
I'm gonna ask it, how are we looking for teachers? What's our status with teachers?
Definitely. No, good question. So we're very fortunate to have, our teachers who stepped into sub, just want to thank them for the work they did. We're very fortunate to have a few long-term subs right now who have been very stable. Right now, we're looking for a physics teacher, and we're looking for technically a physics and environmental science. We've got a long-term sub in environmental science, Ms. Hidalgo. She's doing a wonderful job. The physics is the one that has a sub in the class. And SPED, special education. Those are our 2 that we have job postings up, and we're actively recruiting.
So we have 3 positions that we still need to fill.
Correct.
Physics, environmental science, and SPED.
Yeah, and 2, our SPED also has a long-term sub, so there's stability in that classroom.
My other question for the iReady, is the high school going to be using that for intervention purposes, or is it strictly just for testing?
It'll be used for intervention. It's going to be used in terms of, we want to have a baseline of where our students are in their language fluency. And so part of that will be utilized as a metric so that our teachers can be better equipped when they're in the classroom working with our students, because they know their Lexile, their language fluency level. But we're also going to be using intervention as needed. So for example, that can be tied into our after-school tutorial programs, our Apex. It's just the more information we have about our students, the better that we can prepare for
Because
them.
iReady does have a built-in intervention, like even for math, you can go in and go back and review previous standards if needed. So that's why, but that's a separate component, I know of it. So I didn't know if the high school has both components to it to use it, not just for testing, but also for intervention.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we are discussing that. Right now, we're using it for the assessment pieces, which is what we need to kind of get that baseline, but we definitely are talking about the intervention component.
The campus supervisor that you guys recommended, is that going to be a full-time position? Well, I should say, are they going to be here from 8 to 3 when the kids are on campus?
Yeah, so that position is going to be, I believe, 5 hours, Mr. Soriano? 5.5. So perfect. Beginning, yes. Perfect, yeah.
Okay, if no other questions, moving forward, thank you.
All right.
Mr.
Thank you all.
Ocampo.
No problem. Have a good night.
We will go to 13.8, Assistant Superintendent, Education Services, WASC update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Yolanda Barba, the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. So as per the board's request, I will be providing you an update on WASC. As she puts up the presentation, the first piece that I wanted to talk to you about was a book study that GHS will be participating in. So as you know, in September, Joe Feldman, who is the author of Grading for Equity, was here and conducted a professional development session. And this semester, site admin, along with the academic coach and the teachers that are interested to be in this book study, will be starting to get together, reading the chapters, discussing strategies. And then the second semester, they will be putting some of those into place so that they can discuss to see what they thought and whether it's something that they wanted to continue to move forward in all the classrooms. So the next piece
regarding WASC is, Mr. Ocampo mentioned a little bit about the staff development, but this last Friday, GHS spent all day working on the mission, vision, student outcomes. We had Katie Barr, who is a retired principal that has extensive experience working with schools that have gone through the same process that we are going through here, and she facilitated the work. Staff worked really hard on creating a vision statement and felt that their opinion and input was valued. So by the end of the day, a survey was done to get feedback from staff, and the results showed that the staff value their time spending that they spend alongside their colleagues. So the vision is not yet finalized. It's a work in progress, and the staff will continue this process as they prepare for the visit. So the next steps will be to pull out the objectives from the vision to start creating the mission statement. The next piece of WASC is ELD. So staff has participated and has been trained in the EL roadmap in order to meet California ELD requirements, which is to provide academic language support during content area instruction. The master schedule was set up to make sure that our ELs are receiving support in the core classes. So for example, in a math class, the teacher is aware of the student levels and provides differentiated support within the core content to ensure equitable and meaningful opportunities. And then in order to meet WASC Goal 4, admin and all staff are working on identifying a limited number of teaching strategies that they will implement school-wide for improving reading and writing at all levels. Continuous support for teachers and ELD have been identified as well in our GUSD PD plan, which will include professional development from MCOE. Our academic coach is being trained on the belief modules, which then she will be able to help support the implementation of integrated and designated ELD. And lastly, for English development, an EL committee has been formed. There's a representative from each department along with the academic coach and admin. And again, the purpose of this is to support teachers with EL instruction. So that is our update for WASC.
Thank you. Any questions? Cesar?
So for EL's English development, so that includes, do we have a number of how many kids only speak Spanish at the high school?
I don't have that number with me.
Do we have an idea? Is it 10? Is it 100? Is it 2? What's it closer to? Do not speak.
I'm not
English.
sure if you're referring to newcomers or just the different levels, because we have 1, 2s, or 3s. And so I can definitely bring back what those numbers look like at a next meeting, but they definitely vary in the different areas. We don't have that many students that are currently in level 1. So I can get that
And
information.
level 1
for
is
you.
newcomers? Is that?
Level 1 would be yes.
No, because, and so my question is a little, what I'm getting at is, obviously if somebody doesn't speak English, whether it's they're a 1 or I don't know what the range is, but 5, let's say, but, obviously they need help. So, because a lot of our teachers, I believe, don't speak Spanish. And so how does a English speaking teacher connect with a kid that doesn't speak English? That's kind of my question. And the reason I ask is because I didn't speak English when I was here, and my teachers didn't speak Spanish, and I didn't learn anything for a couple of years. So I'm just, that's changed, but I'm very curious about how we address that when a little kid from Mexico comes around, doesn't know any English, and next thing you know, they're in math, in English, in science. How do we address that? I don't know if that is a question for now, but that's really a core question that I have that I think I don't know the answer to. Yeah, district-wide.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely isn't an easy task. It is challenging. Our curriculum, most of our curriculum now has materials equipped where they can pull it up in Spanish. So that's a method of how they can support the students. definitely just translating if there is instructional aid support that can go in the classroom and provide that support. We have the migrant program that can also, we can connect them with, and then they also provide support in those classrooms. After school program is an option, and Saturday is also an option. I mean, it's not an easy response. It definitely is a challenging one, but it's definitely something that we're working on.
Yeah, because even when I was subbing, I would go into classes and sometimes I would think, oh, this kid doesn't want to do any work. And then the other kids say, oh, they don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, they don't speak English. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I speak Spanish, so I was able to, but what if I didn't? Right? What if I didn't? Then you have to rely on other kids. I mean, yes, most of our kids are bilingual. I get that, but you have to rely on a kid. It's like putting pressure on this kid to now be a teacher. You know, they're a student. They're not a teacher. They're a student, right? But now you're asking this kid, hey, can you help this other one? You know, because they don't understand even what the instructions are. You know, unless the sub speaks Spanish or the teacher speaks Spanish, we are relying on the kids to be teachers. You know, I mean, Google Translate only goes so far.
So okay, I'm gonna pause because for people on the Zoom call can't hear audience because you don't have a mic. So I don't know if we have an extra mic that we can pass around because there are parents and Maria can't hear your response. I do have a response from Ashley, who's part of this, and she's saying that our teachers would use scaffolds and whatever supports they can. Then they would begin to ask for additional support. Their curriculum can be translated now. That's what the academic coach is saying. And then, so I just want to be mindful. We do have questions from parents on Zoom, but I'm gonna start here first, and then we'll take the online questions. And if you, are you good, Cesar? Because I did
Yeah, no, I,
accidentally skip Holly.
yeah. Holly,
So,
do you have
do you have any questions regarding WASC for
Yeah.
Yolanda, Holly? No, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just that the English learner is a very, you know, personal thing to me, you know, because it took me like 5 years. I'm not blaming Gonzales Unified. I'm just saying that my experience is not unique at all.
Yeah.
That when you come to this country, yes, all these folks can be trained in a whole lot of processes, but if they don't speak your language, sign language only goes so far, you know, and you're not going to learn a whole lot. And you're not going to learn a whole lot in 15 minutes, however long it takes, you know, and I agree, Dr. Galicia, it takes a long time, right? But the problem that I see is that time that you're spending with these kids, you cannot spend with the rest of your class. And guess what? You have a finite amount of time. And that's just a concern that I have for all the different levels that we've had of English, all the newcomers, all the way to ones that were born here, but still haven't achieved proficiency. You know, I just see that if you look at our scores, it does show that we need help, right? We need help in EL, and we need help in math. And the last thing I'll say on EL, reader scholarship applications. We have great kids. We do have great kids, but I'll tell you what, we have kids that have trouble writing a sentence that are seniors. This is a bigger issue than now, but I'm just saying it starts with supporting the kids that are just starting, right? And that's the big challenge. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think this strategy is enough, right? I don't think it's enough, for if a kid is coming from Mexico, doesn't know English, I don't know that this strategy addresses what they need. That's just my point. Anyway, thank you.
Okay, Celeste?
Because this mainly dealt with English development, will we get another update regarding math? Because I know that was a huge part of the WASC. I was on that WASC committee, and then, looking at it again, it's
Yes,
math is a big, huge emphasis on a lot of the WASC
Mhm.
information and alignment between both of the schools. So if we can next time get some info on our math data and where we are moving forward with that to get the alignment that I know WASC was asking for.
Okay. And then I don't have any questions, but I will ask for the person who has a question on the Zoom call to be added. I think it's Areli. She has her hand up. I don't know how to bring her in. You gonna bring her in? Oh, wait. Okay, Miss Areli, do you have a question for Yolanda? Areli? Going once? No, she's not muted. Going twice? Now she's muted. No, she's not muted. We can hear, Miss Areli, we cannot hear you. So if you have a question, you might want to type.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Oh, okay. I'm not quite sure if it was semi-answered or it had to do with the comment board member Ayon had mentioned about the non-speaking student. I know our district for the last couple of years has done a wonderful job training the teachers and SADAI strategies and GLAD strategies. And so as an educator myself and being also a former GOSD staff member, a lot of non-English speaking students have, we have a lot of staff in the district that has been trained. And so it doesn't matter that they don't speak Spanish. Everyone in the state of California is CLAD certificated, so they must have some understanding of how to address non-English speaking students. It's a requirement by the state or they wouldn't be able to be hired as teachers. And then two, I'm sure there's some, if the staff member doesn't speak English, or excuse me, Spanish, there's some staff member, whether it be certificated or non, that would be able to help that student. So I think almost impossible not to be able to reach that non-English speaking student. Just a comment. And I know Miss Barba has done a wonderful job in providing a lot of PD, and I've had the pleasure of working with her as part of the DAC and DLAC. And then in other occasions where Miss Barba and her staff have done a wonderful job in helping our kiddos. So just thought I'd mention that.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mancera. If we have no
You're
other further
welcome.
questions from the board, we're gonna move forward. Thank you, Yolanda, for your report. We're gonna move to action items. Before I move forward, do we have any public comments for action items? Miss Monica? No, okay, so we're gonna go to 14.1 to ratify the listed on the attachment contracts entered into by the superintendent on behalf of the district as board policy 3312 as of October 6, 2021. So let's go ahead and does anybody have any questions regarding this action item?
No.
No questions? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion, Daniel?
Second Cuevas?
Okay, so it's motion by Celeste, second by Cuevas. Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, passes with unanimous consent. I'm new to this, so spare me. 14.2. Consideration to accept the donation from Mr. Juan de la Torre via the Wonderful Company Foundation, Inc. in the amount of $500 in support of professional development district-wide. Discussion, comments,
No comments.
any questions? Holly, no? Okay. Can I get a motion?
Motion, Daniel?
Can I get a Second. Second by Araceli. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Motion carries. Action item 14.3, adoption of the resolution number 2021-2204, authorizing to enter into the state preschool contract with the California Department of Education for the purpose of providing childcare and development services for fiscal year 2021 to 22. Any questions or comments?
Is this routine? Is this something that we do every year? Okay.
The answer was yes. Any questions, Cesar?
No.
None? Okay. Can I get a
Um,
motion?
So moved, Daniel?
Second Cuevas?
Okay, motion by Celeste, second by Maria. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. Okay. Let's do roll call for 14.3.
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
and trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Are we gonna do roll call for all of them? Okay. 14.4, adoption of resolution number 2021-2205, honoring Red Ribbon Week. And we have that resolution, so we're gonna have Ms. Daniels read that.
In the matter of honoring Red Ribbon Week, resolution number 2021-22-05, whereas following the 1985 murders of Special Agent Enrique Kiki Camarena of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency and several other people by smugglers, the citizens in Agent Camarena's hometown of Calexico donned red ribbons in his honor and as their symbol for prevention in order to reduce the demand of illegal drugs. And whereas taking place the last week in October, Red Ribbon Week is a grassroots campaign born in the high schools of the Imperial Valley and created by government teacher David Dillon, a Punjabi Mexican American, to reduce the demand for drugs and encourage a healthy, violence-free lifestyle. And whereas with a 2015 theme of Respect Yourself, Be Drug-Free, Red Ribbon Week has touched the lives of millions of people around the world and is the nation's oldest and largest drug prevention program. And whereas Red Ribbon Week encourages participation in drug prevention activities as substance abuse stands as one of the major challenges our communities face and is particularly damaging to one of the most valuable resources, our students, for it is contributing factor in the 3 leading causes of death for teenagers, accidents, homicides, and suicides. And whereas serving as local catalysts and mobilize our communities and educate our youth and residents. The Sunrise House and Community Human Services provides residents of all ages with the tools and support to overcome, sorry, there's a fly, the challenges of addiction and promotes community-wide support for substance abuse prevention, education, and awareness through parental involvement and the promotion of family and an individual responsibility for living healthy, drug-free lifestyle without illegal drugs or the illegal use of legal drugs. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Gonzales Unified School District adopts resolution number 2021-22-05 to proclaim the last week of October to be Red Ribbon Week and encourages parents, students, schools, businesses, and individuals throughout GUSD to demonstrate their commitment to drug-free, healthy lifestyles.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels. Do we have any questions or comments?
No, I did not know the history, so I was I lived down south for a while and my husband started with the state, so that was did not know.
Be nice to see if we can get some of the students to pass out red ribbons to businesses and maybe even on the trees, kind of like when we do for Relay for Life, just an idea.
Yeah.
All right, so can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
So move, Daniel?
Second Cuevas?
So it's moved by Celeste, second by Maria. Can I get a roll call?
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
and trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, passes with unanimous consent. 14.5, adoption resolution number 2021-22-06, proclaiming National Bullying Prevention Month. And we're gonna have Mr. Ayon read this resolution.
Before the governing board of the Gonzales Unified School District of Monterey County, California, in the matter of proclaiming National Bullying Prevention Month, resolution number 2021-22-06. Whereas the Gonzales Unified School District supports the right of students and staff to attend schools that are safe and free from violence, harassment, all forms of bullying and discrimination, and encourages our community to work together to stop bullying and cyberbullying by increasing awareness of the prevalence and impact of bullying. And whereas October is National Bullying Prevention Month, where we observe the need for development, implementation, and monitoring of policies and programs that address all forms of bullying, including physical, verbal, covert, and cyberbullying, and encourage our schools and communities to educate students, parents, and others about their role in bullying prevention. And whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting children, it has devastating effects such as school avoidance, loss of self-esteem, increased anxiety and depression. And whereas it is essential to achieve the mission of public education that students are provided a safe and healthy school environment that ensures both the physical and emotional safety of students and staff and creates the conditions necessary to foster academic achievement. And whereas our county office of education and our school districts have a responsibility to ensure a safe school environment that is free of intimidation and harassment, and to create safe school communities by implementing training and ongoing strategies and programs that address all forms of bullying. And whereas cyberbullying is on the rise due to the increased use of technology and includes harassment, impersonation, denigration, and exclusion, and can have a harmful impact on the school environment. And whereas the most effective approach to creating safe school environments requires a comprehensive coordinated effort where districts, schools, and communities accept responsibility for their critical roles and collaborate to establish a positive environment for teaching and learning. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Gonzales School Unified School District Governing Board does hereby adopt resolution number 2021-22-06 in support of National Bullying Prevention Month and encourages GUSD schools and community stakeholders to develop, implement, and monitor policies and programs that foster and support a positive and respectful school climate free from harassment, bullying, discrimination, and violence, passed and adopted on the 12th day of October 2021.
Okay, any comments or questions regarding this resolution?
No, I just encourage our community to get involved. This is with the enormous web out there and how much our students are on social media. Please get involved and know what your student is on social media wise, because that's, I know, a big part of bullying. So stay informed.
And I encourage also students, particularly students, maybe not necessarily the ones that are being bullied, but from the classes we take, it's not just the person who's getting bullied that's let's say participating. If you're also watching something happening and you don't do something or say something, you are actually participating and bullying that person as well. So it does take everybody. Nobody wants to be bullied. I think together we can stop this from getting worse. And we all can do a part in this. And also kids, I know that there's a lot of pressure where, oh, you're snitching and whatever. No, you're not. The adults there are there to protect you. If something is going on that you don't like, somebody's talking to you in a way they shouldn't, doing things that you don't like, you need to speak up. And if you're watching something like that, you need to speak up, because next time it might be you, right? So if we all protect each other, I think that we can go very far in preventing bullying. This has no place at school. In fact, it has no place in society. And I think with your help, we can help prevent this from getting even worse.
You may just be saving somebody's life. So just remember that.
Maria, any comments?
No, I definitely agree with Mr. Ayon that as far as just speaking up, our adults are there to protect you, and you should feel safe where you are.
And my sentiments are matching my peers here, but I will also add that it also really starts at home. So parents, you need to ask your administrators and your teachers, how did my child do in school today? And really have those conversations, because the real teaching happens in the home. And it comes to school. So thank you, everybody. Can I get a motion for the resolution?
So move, Daniel.
And a
Second,
second? So moved by Celeste, second by Maria. Can I get a roll call vote?
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We have 14.6, adoption of resolution number 2021-22-07, observing October 11-15, 2021 as week of the school administrator. Do we have that up? Anyone volunteer to read that? You want to do it? Okay, thank you.
In the matter of a week of the school administrator, whereas leadership matters of California's public education system and the more than 6 million students it serves, whereas school administrators are passionate, lifelong learners who believe in the value of quality public education, and whereas the title school administrator is a broad term used to define many education leadership posts, superintendents, assistant superintendents, principals, assistant principals, special education and adult education leaders, curriculum and assessment leaders, school business officials, classified educational leaders, and certificated administrators are considered. And whereas providing quality service for students' success is paramount for the profession, and whereas most school administrator began their careers as teachers, the average administrator has served in public education for more than a decade. Most of California's superintendents have served in education for more than 20 years. Such experience is beneficial in their work to effectively and efficiently lead public education and improve student achievement. And whereas public schools operate with lean management systems, across the nation, public schools employ fewer managers and supervisors than most public and private sectors, industries, including transportation, food service, manufacturing, utilities, construction, publishing, and public administration. And whereas school leaders depend on a network of support from school communities, fellow administrators, teachers, parents, students, business, community members, board trustees, colleges and universities, community and faith-based organizations, elected officials, and district and county staff, and resources to promote ongoing student achievement and school success. And whereas research shows great schools are led by great principals and great districts are led by great superintendents. These site leaders are supported by extensive administrative networks throughout the state. And whereas the state of California has declared the second full week of October as the week of the school administrator in Education Code 44015.1, and whereas the future of California's public education system depends upon the quality of its leadership, now therefore be it resolved by Gonzales Unified School District that all school leaders be commended for the contributions they make to successful student achievement.
Thank you. Any comments? No comments. Thank you to all of our school administrators for all your hard work. This is your week. You get a week. Yeah. Good job. All right. So can I get a motion?
Motion, Daniel?
Second, Cuevas.
So we got Daniel, Celeste and Maria. Can I get a roll call vote?
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
and trustee Daniel.
Oh, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is 14.7, California Association of Directors of Activities, CADA, CADA, California Association of Student Leaders, CASL, individual membership for Michelle Rodriguez, Activity Director for fiscal year 2021 and 2022.
So moved. Daniel?
Can I get a second? So I'll second it. Araceli, roll call vote.
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, passes. 14.8, approval of the memorandum of understanding between the California School Employees Association, CSEA, Chapter 756, and Gonzales Unified School District for out-of-class pay for Joanna Cardenas, effective TBD. Any questions, comments? None? Can I get a motion?
Motion, Daniel?
Second, Araceli. Roll call vote. Roll call vote. Oh, sorry.
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. 14.9, miscellaneous personnel assignment. Order number 21/22-26 to authorize a variable term waiver request for Blanca Sofia Marquez, CTE computer science teacher at Gonzales High School during the 2021/22 school year. Any questions, comments?
I
Cel-
I have a
Cesar.
comment. Yeah, I would just like to welcome Blanca to Gonzales Unified. I see that you have a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, emphasis in software engineering. We can definitely, I think, benefit from your knowledge, and I look forward to seeing you on campus.
Celeste,
No, welcome.
Maria,
Same thing. Welcome to GH.
welcome. Sorry, Maria.
Oh, I just said welcome to GHS.
Okay, all right, welcome to our district. Can I get roll call?
Motion, Daniel?
Oh, yes, motion by
Cuevas.
Celeste, second, Araceli. Roll call.
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, passes. 14.10, sorry. Miscellaneous personnel assignment order number 21/22-27 to authorize hiring of Blanca Sofia Marquez. Oh, did I just do that already?
No, that-
Oh, sorry, thank you. Authorize hiring of Blanca Sofia Marquez as a CTE computer science teacher at Gonzales High School under a variable term waiver request for the 2021/22 school year.
So moved, Daniel?
Second, Ayon.
Thank you. Can I get a roll call?
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
and trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, passes unanimously. 14.11, open one independent study position. Comments, questions?
How, do we know how many students are going to be served with that position? How many students were going to serve with the independent study position, independent studies position? 6 through 8, but we don't know how many students? But we don't know how many students yet. Okay.
So we're just commenting on the response from thank you. Just gonna try to summarize that.
My goodness, now if I can recall exactly the numbers, but I think elementary school TK through fourth is about 14 to 15 students. The middle school band, which is fifth through eighth, is probably comparable to that, about 18 students. And then high school is close to 45 to 50.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again,
you,
this is a
Candace, for-
one-time thing because this is AB 130 and we need to be compliant.
Maria, any
For the
questions?
info.
Just one last,
Oh,
these
go
are
for-
full positions, full-time positions, or in all three sites?
It's one. This one's just for the one though. But yeah.
Maria, any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Daniel?
Second by Araceli. Can I make roll call vote?
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, passes. So move on to consent agenda. 15, consent agenda items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board action unless a member of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted and recommended. So do we want to pull anything? No?
I
No.
just had one comment. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Caesar.
no, please.
I just want to, I see on here, 1511, I want to commend Sonia Viejo. She has been with our district for many years, taken on many responsibilities, and I'm happy to see her name on the list. So congratulations, Sonia. She already left,
Yeah.
but congratulations and welcome aboard in your new position.
Here.
Yes.
Cesar?
The woman of all trades.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on the same agenda item. I'm happy that we finally got the parent engagement, community involvement specialist. Hopefully we can do some good outreach and lower those numbers of independent studies. Maybe it's
Connecting
maybe-
parents.
yeah, connecting parents and
To,
let them know that your kids are safe on campus and not
Mhm.
just safe, but they benefit most from human interaction, whether it's with their teachers or with their peers and all of that you can't get at home,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
and she's been here long enough where she has good relationship with parents. So
I
there's
agree.
trust there. She's worked for the district, so staff know her. She's familiar. And so I'm really confident that and hopeful that she can bridge the gap between parent and community and then the district and navigate how they can work together. Okay, so if we're not gonna pull any others, no discussion, can I get a roll call?
No
Oh, motion? Can I get a motion?
Motion, Daniel?
Motion by Celeste. Can I get a second?
Second, Ayon.
Second by Cesar. Roll call.
Trustee Cuevas,
Yes.
trustee Flores,
Yes.
trustee Ayon,
Yes.
trustee Daniel.
Yes.
Okay, passes consent agenda and governing board, governance comments, 16.1. Go ahead, Cesar.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, one thing that we keep bringing up, and, I know it's a challenge with hiring, especially folks in math and science. But it's, I guess the first quarter, or is it first semester is over, or the quarter? The first quarter is over, right? And so, we have those physics positions, environmental science, and SPED. SPED is a crucial, I used to sub quite a bit there. It's a crucial position, so we really need to put priority on hiring folks in those positions. Our kids, I was a sub and I can tell you, they don't learn as much as having a teacher. They just don't. You can be the best sub in the world. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a steady teacher there, that's where you get the benefit. So, even long-term subs, a lot of the kids, they know it's the long-term sub, so they still don't fully maybe trust that person. And it takes, as you guys know, you're in education, it takes a lot of hooks, right, to connect with that child, right? Like, you have kids from all levels in your class, as we were talking before, and your challenge is to reach all of them, right? And the best person that can do that is a teacher, is a full-time, steady teacher. So anyway, yeah.
Okay. Celeste?
No, I didn't have much. I mean, I definitely agree with Caesar with our long-term subs. Our kids need to know that they have somebody invested in the classroom, because if not, then they tune out. And I've known that myself from teaching. No, for the parents that I have reached out, I appreciate your feedback. And we're all here trying to do what's best for our students.
Okay, thank you, Celeste. Maria?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I apologize for once again not being there in person. I have been under the weather, but I did join in, and I thank you guys for allowing me and making it happen for me. I had a question in regards to after school activities, such as games. I'm curious what the role is for admin or for MOT during those after school activities. The reason I ask is because I wasn't at the football game, but it was brought up to me that there was an incident where we had a parent and our city manager cleaning up a mess that someone had made. I don't want to get too much into detail, but I'm just curious what the roles are and is it a requirement for MOT to be there? Is it a requirement for admin to be there? If maybe I can get some information in regards to that, and maybe we can share it with the community since it was brought up by community members.
I think we can definitely maybe send an email to Yvette, and I know Yolanda's here, and she will definitely message that out, and then maybe we can get a follow-up on Maria's question.
Yeah, and I'd also,
Hold on. Are you, anything else, Maria?
yeah, I'm hoping we can just get more supervision, especially up where the snack bars are during the football games, which are a lot busier. Just like that area, so we can try to avoid incidents.
Okay, so
Yeah, I've heard
And
the same.
Going off on that, I fully agree with Maria. It's an issue. It's an issue, especially at the snack bar. Kids that are going and buying snacks, that's fine. But we have a whole lot of kids loitering up there and just hanging out. I mean, I'm thinking 50, 70, right? And they need to be in their seats.
That's the social part
When
area.
parents let the kids go to a football game, we are responsible. The district is responsible. It's a district event, right?
Mhm.
So we can't just allow these kids to just hanging out behind the bleacher, whatever. We cannot allow that. We're responsible for that, right? And the parents, they let their kids go with the trust in us that we're going to take care of it, that we're the adults there, and we're not going to let their kids be messing around and, not, if you're going to a football game, that's fine. You're sitting in the stands. If you're gonna go get snacks, fine, but then you're sitting in the stands. If you go to the bathroom, fine, but then you're sitting in the stands. You're not hanging out back there and just messing around. I think we need to address that. There was a fight in the first game. I wasn't there, but I saw the video, and I'm sure everybody saw the video, right? And again, it was a community member who was breaking up the fight, right? And that just shows a little bit of that maybe we're not taking care of what we need to take care of. And
Or we need to
because,
add more support.
little kids are going to these games, right? And other schools, by the way, they have, like I heard other schools, what they do is they have a list of all the kids that are under a 2.0. I'm not saying, I'm just bringing this out, but yeah. And if they're under a 2.0, guess what? Sorry, you need to go do your homework.
Who's gonna monitor? You'd have to have a list,
What? No,
someone at the
I'm
front.
just saying, right? There is,
Used to stand at the gate, remember?
there is a lot more oversight, that we can do. Because we want to prevent, we want to have that. It's a community event where you have little kids, right? From 5th grade all the way to seniors. It's a
Younger.
big range of kids,
Younger
right?
kids.
And we want to give parents the,
Like, parents have to play a role too, though, in all
Well,
that and supervising their
no,
kids when
that's
they
true.
attend.
No, that's true. But, some parents actually put a lot of trust into the school. Just like parents send their kids to our school, they're putting trust in us. So when these parents, and not every parent can go and accompany their kids to the football game for whatever, one reason or the other. So they're putting trust in us that when they allow their kid to go to our football games, that we are going to be there and making sure that they're safe and that nothing is happening that shouldn't be happening. And I think we need to address that. Unfortunately, I don't see that it's been addressed yet.
or that it just needs to get addressed.
Yeah.
You know what, before there used to be, and I don't think we're following it this year, but I know when I worked at Fairview, students from Fairview could not come in without an adult. So you either had to be attending the high school, but if you did not have an adult, Fairview students were not, and it went in there, just a reminder, students, you're not gonna be allowed in without an adult. So I remember that, it used to be old practice.
Yeah.
And you were saying about the list, but you know what? We had Mr. Poor who used to send out the gate and not only enforce students who weren't supposed to be there, but enforce the dress code as well.
Wow.
So that was
So it's
also a big
doable.
thing. Yeah, because I remember we went and it was one of my first games back and my son was wearing an Oakland A's hat and Mr. Poor's like, you gotta go. So he had to go and put it in the car and take it off. So those little measures that used to happen that are slowly disappearing, I think we need to put back.
Yeah.
Because, and thank you, Maria, for bringing that because I did get calls on that as well, being safe again at the games for the students. But I think that's one of the steps that was put in that will help alleviate with the crowd, because if you have 7th and 8th graders unsupervised at a game, it's easily gonna get out of hand.
I agree with everybody, with everything you're saying. I'm kind of curious, and this is just for Yolanda to pass down, but is there a committee that we can start whether it be with staff, parents, to kind of maybe I don't know how, look, I don't know how it's done, who agrees to, you're gonna man the top, you're gonna man the bottom, you're gonna man left and right. But is there a committee that we can start, or maybe a committee that we can get volunteers to come in and kind of make an agreement where we're gonna go to the games and this is gonna be our responsibilities and this is how we're gonna check in students? Because the security issue did come up, especially now when you're hearing reports of kids going to school with guns and knives, and strengthening our security at the gate. So maybe, how can we start engaging in a conversation where we can work together as a district and even as a community? Because I know there's people in the community who would love to help and volunteer, do that process, but how do we get that started? And maybe that's something that can eventually follow up and give us a response on that.
Now that we have 2 campus supervisors, having at least one of them there at the
We can
game.
rotate.
How can we just better that process? Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Who's
for
next? Am I
reminding me.
next?
Yeah,
Are you?
you're next.
Oh, I'm next. Okay, so I'll just piggyback on the football game. I have gone to 2 football games, maybe 3, I don't remember. It's nostalgic. I see people I haven't seen in 20 something. I don't know how long I've been out of high school. But what I really love about going to the football games is that the fact that we have these little kids running around and I know that they can get hurt and whatever, but the fact that they do it and everyone's looking out for each other, it's such a community. Like, regardless of how old your kid, someone's watching your baby run around across right here in front of the cheer. And it's a sense of safety when you know that our community, we can do that here. And it really kind of brought me back to that, it reminded me why I decided to come back to Gonzales with my kids, right? Because it's a safe place. I mean, there's dangers everywhere, and I'm in that field, so I know there's risks always, no matter where they're teenagers, there's always something's going to happen. But it was a sense of, felt really good to see those little kids be able to be kids and watch a football game and eat food. So went to a training on social media that was given by MCOE. It was really good, and I'm hoping that they have the what do you call it, PowerPoints, because it was really informative, stuff that I didn't know. I did attend the community center informational, where we got to really give what our priority is. I hope that we really get our students engaged in that process. There you have cue cards. I'm hoping that maybe all of our students may actually, from La Gloria to the high school, should be given those little QR codes or whatever they're called, so they can vote on the priorities of what they want the community center to look like. So it was a really cool process. And I'm excited to finally have a committee to go to tomorrow. So I'll be at DLAC tomorrow, and I'm excited to hear. And I'm very excited to see how school site councils will pick up again this year. Everybody knows I'm a big school site council fan. And so I do really want to encourage parents, if you really want to, and community members, 'cause you don't have to be a parent. If you really want to have some input on your sites, go attend your school site council. We always have opinions, but we don't go to the meetings where we really need to have those opinions at. So please attend your school site council meetings. And then that is it for me. So we're gonna move to 16.2, future agenda items. Cesar.
Yes, WASC. I
So-
think WASC.
So continue, well, I think, yeah, so it continued
With math.
with
They're gonna
WASC,
be here.
maybe.
They're gonna be here January, right?
Yeah.
So that's around the corner.
So next
So,
update for
yeah,
WASC for math, okay?
And
And if we
I-
can add
okay.
in that, oh, sorry, well, I took yours, but you. But not only so that the community understands what the issue is and what the process that we're going to fix that or try to fix it, because that's what WASC is doing. They're not coming in and saying, hey, this has to be fixed. Like yesterday, they're saying, what's the process you're
Yeah,
going through?
how
And I
are you
think that's what
progressing?
parents need to know. So what were the issues that we were flagged on, and what are we doing to fix it? So if we can get that information, I would greatly appreciate it.
Okay, Cesar.
yeah, thank you. And also since obviously the first quarter was completed, if we can have a DNF list, at least of the core classes. That way we know where we stand. Our kids, and especially seniors, right? That if they continue on that path, there's gonna be trouble for them in June, right?
So-
And yeah.
Just for clarification, you want like a superintendent report to have an update on the DNF list?
Yeah, for Q1, yeah,
Okay. for
just so we
Q1.
know where we are,
Sup-
right? Just the high school, and core classes, since it's normally the focus.
Okay.
The one I asked for last week, but I know it's being worked on because of the PDs, but on the grading, I think to prevent anything coming at the end of the school year and somebody saying, well, we need to give the kids, the advantage for this, that, the other, of making sure we have some type of grading system in place that, is consistent throughout.
Like
because I
aligned?
think- Yeah, even by department, whether you're going by standardized, 1 through 4, or you're, tests are 80% and homework's 20%, whatever it may be, but something standardized, so that way the student knows and the parent knows, well, my child's still going to get graded the same from this teacher to that teacher. And I think that will help prevent any issues coming at the end of the year. So if we can get something in
So
the
that could be a
works.
part of because that was something that was pointed out in the WASC. And so I think we can kind of add that to the WASC update. Okay, and Cesar, I know you were
Yeah,
saying something
I'm
else.
sorry, and actually, thank you, Ms. Camacho, for, you know what, it starts early. So in fact, yes, 7th and 8th grade included, because we need to know who's not,
7 through
yeah.
12. No. But we're not gonna get into the 1, 2s, and 3s
Yeah.
right now.
They make you little cards when you sub for them. I've done that. I've seen that. But no, yeah, just so we know, because let's be honest, we get a whole lot of kids that have not great grades in 7th and 8th grade, and they're coming here, right? So we need to know, okay, what's the intervention that's happening with these kids? If they're not at level, the first 7 years of education, and then we're expected to put them at level in 4 years, that's a big challenge, right? That's a big challenge.
So
And
it sounds like we really want a in-depth kind of WASC update. And so we can, whatever we can fit for in the next meeting, we can fit, but these are the areas of concern that maybe throughout the meetings, we can get updates on these different WASC issues.
And if we bunch them, it is chunked down, so that's.
Yeah, so little chunks like math, and then we'll get there. Okay, Maria?
I'm all set here.
Okay. No agenda items?
Nope.
Okay. And I am in agreement with the WASC. So just continue to WASC updates. Kind of, I do like the idea of educate, something where really we let our parents know what the process is and where we at in regards to the process and progress of WASC. And it is about showing progress, you know, being able to show progress in what they were criticizing us on. So if we don't have no other agendas, well, let's put the future dates. And we have,
October 26th.
And
oh,
the October 27th has been moved, correct?
We're gonna move it to the 25th.
we're moving,
Yeah.
right? The
Monica?
20, we're moving the 27th to the 25th. Okay, so we got October 26th, October 27th is going to be October 25th. We're moving that meeting, November 9th. We get to discuss the architect selection. December 14th is our reorganization of the board. So with that said, we will adjourn. Do we have the motion? Motion to adjourn.
I motion.
Second by
Leon.
Araceli. Oh, you want to take
Yep,
it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, second by Cesar. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have to roll call that? Okay.